So I got a couple things right here. The history and the leaders, the all-time leaders. So okay, throw these on real quick. Let's talk real quick. Nope. This is your volume right here, okay? He said you can hear you.
I can hear this.
Yeah, get comfortable, you'll be fine. Parangan. Manu, Parangan, Lilo Maeva, Beaumont, Townsend, Dare.
You can go check the coach manual if you watch.
I mean, what you want.
Abrahamian. Mike 3.
Yeah, what's going on with the... Are we having issues with the shot clocks? We're having issues with the shot clocks? Always an adventure.
I usually don't get last night on live. You like that live? Yeah. Yeah, we're already live. We are live here at the 2018-2019 PAL tournament at Sequoia High School. Head coach Fine Lauesse is hosting this year's tournament. And this year's tournament, a little similar to some other tournaments that we've had in the last few years as far as participants. Very excited to be bringing the game live here on the YouTube channel here at South San Francisco VideoArt. Game one, it is going to be the South City Warriors on the ladies' side under their seventh-year head coach. Check that. Yeah, seventh-year head coach Paul Carrion, 125 and 62 in his 7 years at South San Francisco. 41 straight league victories for this Warrior team. You got to go back to 2016, a game at Oceana. That's the last time this Warrior team lost. They've got 3 straight league championships. PAL tournament, they won the Division III championship. Ethan, this Aragon team, or rather South City team right now is playing the best ball. Other than a team named Terra Nova or Westmore, it's the first time in about 30 years another team from the north is dominant here.
And they've done it with players in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. It's been really impressive. You look at their roster, players ranging from 5-foot-tall Giselle Madrid to all the way up at 6 feet with Becca Tossi. Similar to even with some of the players they graduated after last year. They graduated a D1 player in Brittany Cedeno. who's now at Cal Baptist, and yet here they are again, undefeated in the North Division and the top seed on the girls' side.
Yeah, that CCS championship, the first in South San Francisco history, and you're talking to a team that goes back to the early 1900s. Speaking of that, John Horrigan is the PA announcer for tonight's game, and he mentioned just a moment ago the oldest school in the county. We are at Sequoia High School, 1919 is the how far back this the Cherokee Pride goes here down at Sequoia High School. And as also mentioned, not the first time this game's been played at Sequoia. When they christened the new gym here back in 2012, it was hosted here, as it was in 2013 as well. And then here in 2018-19, this is the third time that Coach Fine Lauaste has played host to this tournament. Now we turn it over to the other side as we get our starting lineups, and it is the Aragon Dons under their third-year coach, Sam Manu. But third-year coach, that's a little bit of a, I don't want to say not true. It is his third-year head coach for the girls. His daughter, Lydia Manu, is a junior on this team. But Coach Manu, well known around Aragon because he coached the boys for 5 years as well. In fact, they won a Division III championship back in 2013-2014, beating Valley Christian of San Jose 61-55. 20 wins in both the 14 and 15 seasons back on the boys' side. Now he turns over to the girls' side. And in just 3 years, 63-27, a second place finish this year. Another, just, it doesn't matter, boys, girls, it doesn't really matter. Coach Manu knows how to coach.
Absolutely. He always gets his teams to play very much on the same page. And on top of that, when they play, they always do it with an emphasis on pushing the pace. They like to run. They like to create havoc. They like to create turnovers. When I was a student manager at Burlingame, we had to deal with that back when he was coaching on the boys' side. Played a couple of great games against them. Expect to see a lot of that out of them this week. Expect them to push the pace, push the tempo, try to create a lot of problems for South City in transition.
So we are getting the opening lineups for the semifinals of the PAL tournament. This year, due to the state championship being a little bit early, they kind of crunched the entire PAL season together. In fact, a lot of the girls' side played their first league game in December. In my 20 years covering the PAL, that's the first time that has happened. So, and in addition, the PAL tournament, we've had as many as 16 participants for a couple years. If you go back to the 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009, tons of teams in the tournament. Everybody but one got the invitation. And we are going to take a quick break as we rise for our national anthem here at the PAL tournament. It is the PAL tournament here on the South City YouTube channel, South City Video Art on YouTube. And the PAL tournament in the Peninsula Athletic League, it goes all the way back to 1970. It had a little hiatus in the middle. It's always been split up by the North, the South, and the PAL for many years. They combined them all in 2000 to have a county champion. That was under Chuck Kent. He was the PAL commissioner at the time, and he wanted to bring the tournament back. It's exactly what they did, and here we are nearly 20 years later, and I'm so glad he decided to bring that back. Ethan Castle, my name is John Mylod. We are at Sequoia High School getting ready for the first semifinal here. This one between Aragon and South City on the girls' side. As I mentioned, just the first of many games here at Sequoia. I shouldn't say many, 4. The other side of this bracket on the girls' side finds the
The tournament host Cherokees taking on the Terra Nova Tigers. That game will be at 6 p.m.
And then as we switch to the boys, actually the next game coming up is going to be Jefferson, first place in the North Division, and Ron Osorio's Carlmont Scots. They came in second this year in the PAL, and the nightcap will be MA and Terra Nova, number one in the South, third straight year for MA, and they will take on. Underway here at Sequoia High School with the tip, off the tip, is Aragon, and they will start the ball, actually get down low early, and that's going to be Lilo Maeva. Shot blocked down low, go into the front court for South City. Malapi has it knocked out of her hands, now loose on the floor to scramble. A scramble. It's kind of like that because there's about 4 or 5 people down on the ground. Possession arrow belongs to South San Francisco. They will have the ball. Madrid, Tassi, Salasa, Natividad, and Malapi on the floor for South City starting this one out. They have the ball between the circles. Left side. Now to the free throw line is Natividad. She's stopped there. Between the circles, bounces right is Madrid. A good ball movement here. Ball outside to Salisi, and actually a shot taken from the right wing. Malapi is no good. She's tied up on the rebound. Nice follow right there. This time position arrow will give the ball back to Aragon.
Right away on their opening possession. You saw what the Dons like to do, even though they ended up turning it over. They like pushing the pace. See here as they bring it into the front court with Lydia Manu if they'll get into that again. It looks like a little more set in a half-court offense this time.
She's a first-team All-Leaguer this year, and she's got a turnaround from the free throw line. Just rolls off the rim. Rebound down low is Aragon. And they're going to get all the way back out top, actually knocked out of the hands of Beaumont. And coming the other way is South City. Madrid slows things down, waits for her teammates. Solis stops the dribble, left side. Finding some room is Madrid. She goes outside the arc, 3 on the way by Solis is no good. Check that was Salisa. Still no score, minute and a half.
Saw a good high screen out there from Malapi. Those Warriors like to use their size in the paint. Manu fouled here. And a foul is going to be on Solis.
Parangan, both Beth and Jaylene get the start. Lydia Manu, Megan Grant, and Leo Maileva. Younger sister to Artivia, I believe, back from the Aragon days, now head coach. High-low entry pass, and Manu has it on the low block. She goes all the way back out top. Madrid has it, pull it from the free throw line, no good. Rebound South City. And now stolen back in transition. That's Manu. That's a 3-pointer go from straight away. Knocked out of bounds. And the ball will stay here with Aragon. No score, 2 minutes in here from Sequoia High School. PAL tournament semifinal action, South City and Aragon.
That was number 11, Savannah Mappa, fighting for it in the paint for Aragon. Now, you're going to want to pay attention to that name. Her brother Simon, a tight end on the football team, and a forward on the Aragon boys basketball team.
That's Mappa with the ball now. She turns around inside, has it blocked up top. Ball's going to go to South City. That's Tassi. She's the MVP of the league. It's stolen in transition, but actually that Manu with the missed shot. It's Parangan, rather.
Parangan gets another try, no good. Another offensive rebound for Manu, and she puts it in.
So, into the front court now, South City. First bucket of the game comes about 5:40 mark. On the dribble is Salisa. She goes high-low entry passes through the hands of Tassi. And back outside the arc, 3 on the way. That's Salisa, no good, draws front iron. Rebound is taken down by Mappa. Quickly into the front court, Parangan with the ball. Now straight away is Manu. Parangan now on the dribble, that's Jolene. Looking right side, she crosses over, down the heart of the defense, stolen this time, knocked away by Natividad. Now into the front court is South City. And they'll faking the floater, instead they go outside the arc, driving in is Lila Maeva. She gets it right back out as they working around the right side of the key. Cross-court pass, Natividad, no good. It's foul. She's fouled, however, and she'll go to the line, shoot a pair of free throws for South City. Warriors looking to get on the board here.
Number 11, Mappa. That is her first
first foul on Aragon in today's game. Opening moments here from Sequoia High School. Only bucket on the hands of the Aragon Dons. 2-0 here, opening moments.
First sub's going to come in. It's going to be Courtney Townsend for Aragon, replacing Mappa, who just picked up that foul. Natividad at the line here for South City, one of 5 seniors on the roster. Otherwise, a pretty young team, but a lot of varsity experience. Was particularly impressed with Solis, who wears number 21, last year as a freshman in the PAL tournament.
The free throw is good, 2-1 here, and quickly down the floor. Turnaround inside the lane is no good by Parangan, and a foul on the rebound. We're going to give the ball back to South City. They'll have it trailing 2-1 here, 4:36 remaining, first quarter from Sequoia.
Couple of subs here for the Warriors. Eulalia Talolo into the game, along with Charisma Burgesson.
Into the front court on the dribble is Salisa. She's picked up about full court by Parangan. It's a attacking half-court trap right there by South City. Aragon broken, and a couple shots down low. Bucket goes in for Malapai. And that's going to make it. And the ball in transition, knocked out of bounds, back to South City.
Malapai, part of a long line of athletes. Couple of players with the Malapai last name, playing for Sarah football in the last few years. A name you see all over the Bay Area and into the Sacramento area as well. Family with a lot of athletic history.
Midpoint first quarter, 3-2, South City up, and the ball's knocked up top and into the hands of Manu. Coming the other way, Parangan in transition, stops free throw line, 12-footer straight away is good. And Parangan gives the Aragon Dons back to lead 4-3.
Good job using the glass. You see so many players get obsessed with trying to put a shot straight through the net. The square's there for a reason. Put the ball off it, it's usually going in.
And in transition, that bucket is Tololo. That's her first bucket coming off the bench. Back on top is South City, as we've got 3 lane changes here in the first quarter of play.
Natividad was subbed out of that last break, checking right back in for South City. They're going to go with a bit of a smaller lineup here as she comes in for Malapai. Do have some good height out there still between Burgesson and Tololo, as well as, of course, 6-foot Bekatasi.
Inlet is to Tololo. Her shot no good. And rebound to the South City Warriors. 41-game league winning streak. In transition, the bucket is good. And timeout by Manu on the floor. Natividad knocked that one down, 7-4. Biggest lead of the game so far, 3 points. And that is for South San Francisco, the 12-0, 41 straight wins under Coach Paul Carey. On the other side, Coach Manu talking to his team. I think he's pleading them to play that half-court trapping defense. When I played basketball, we called it scaredy cat. And basically what you do is you almost lure the point guard into the front court. As soon as they get 1 or 2 steps into the front court, you have your 2 defenders at the top of the 2-3 zone attack. The two of the defenders on the bottom, well, they move up and they anticipate that first panic pass. First time it happens to South City, they handle it perfectly, but I don't think we're going to see Aragon go away from that. Looks like Coach is talking to them right now about it.
It's definitely their MO. Just South City was able to break it a couple times there, and you've got Natividad already 5 points, outscoring the Dons all by herself in the early going.
So here you are into the front court. On the floor now is Beaumont. She's got the ball. And now top of the key is Manu between the circles. D'd up, 2-3 zone looks like for South City, and a shot around and out for Manu. Rebound taken down by Tassi. Quickly down the floor. A little shake and bake move. I think the European step there, that was Alex Salisa. And shot no good, but she's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot a pair. Parangan picks up her first, 13 foul for Aragon here, first quarter, just under 3 minutes.
Megan Grant onto the floor for Aragon, a part of another super athletic family. Her brother Devin playing football currently at College of Idaho. Older brother, middle of the 2 brothers, Cameron, on the Aragon football and basketball teams as well. Stellar running back, linebacker, and even punter. Shot in the lane by the Dons, no good. Another rebound for Bekatasi.
That's 1 of 2 on the other side, making it an 8-4 game here. About 2.5 minutes left first quarter. Dish down low, looking for Tossi, knocked away. Parangan knocked it down, and now it's in the hands of Manu. Into the front court, around the back, down the lane, shot in traffic, no good, but she'll be fouled and go to the line for a pair of free throws as Manu right at the hole, and nobody stopping ball by South City right there.
I don't think the clock ever started during that last sequence. It's been stuck on 2:26 for a little while here. I think that was a mistake, an administrative error.
It's okay, we just get a little more basketball. I'm okay with that. As long as it happens in the first quarter, nobody notices, I don't care. If it happens in the fourth quarter, we got issues. Ferguson picking up her first foul, second team foul on South City. And Manu is 1 of 2 from the line, making it an 8-5 game here. South City on top.
And there's the trap you were calling out.
And Parangan with the defense. Pick set by Tossi, but now trapped in the corner, and a timeout's going to be called by Paul Carrion. As soon as they got the ball into the front court right there. The trap comes, so difficult. And when you have Becca Tossi as the defender in the middle, she's tall, she's big, she's long, and she's going to knock away those passes. She is there, but when you're doubled up, you still got to find her. And right there, a little bit of trouble finding her. Carry-on's on top, but they call a timeout.
Had a high screen from Tololo, but just couldn't quite get everything to formulate. Now with clock management, you got your 5 timeouts. You have to remember the clock does not stop on a made basket in the final minute like it does at the college or professional level. So you've really got to be smart with those timeouts. You can really only afford to use 1 or 2 over the course of the game to avoid a turnover, as the Warriors just did there. So you really got to pick and choose your spots to do so.
Lilo Maeva. Check that. That's Malapai on the floor along with Salisa Natividad. Becky Tossi steps off the floor. As back out there is going to be Tololo. She'll take her spot. I checked that Tossi is out there with Tololo, so that's your 5 for South City. And a couple substitutions here for Aragon. As Parangan just picks up her second foul. Both Beth and Jolene are in the game along with Manu. Pass left side and a turnaround in the lane, no good off the rim. Pong and the rebound to her sister down the floor in transition, off the glass and good. Within 1 now is Aragon, 8-7. Minute 45 remaining here, first quarter.
First points of the day for Jaylene, staying out there even with the 2 fouls, at least for the moment. Meanwhile, Madrid set to check back in for South City with Solis trying to break the press.
Ball knocked away in transition. If you're watching at home, you may have noticed that they're kind of getting very close to that 10-second count. Well, yes, they are, and they're going right over it because there is no 10-second count on the girls' side. Until you get it into the front court, you could take as much time as you'd like getting it there.
Just a few years ago, they added a backcourt violation to the SSFHS rules for girls basketball. Until recently, you pretty much had free reign of the entire court.
Manu stolen on the inbounds pass, and she does a beautiful job of securing the ball and keeping the defender at an arm's length, getting the bucket to go in. Manu's got 3 here. Now 9-8, Aragon, as they've scored 5 straight to take the lead.
Got her down for 5 points as well as a couple rebounds already. Great ball movement at the other end. That's Natividad from Malapai.
And near steal right there. And traveling's going to be called. Good defense that time. South City was back, and Aragon tripped up on the play, and they'll have the ball. It's a 10-9 lead for South City. Minute left here, first quarter.
I think these Warrior uniforms were made for TV. You look at the size of the numbers on these bad boys. These are massive. They're as big as the ones Oregon football was wearing this past year. You could see those from Mars. Makes it a lot easier to call a game.
Malapai with the ball. Terminates the dribble, looking for a teammate. And, just must have got it off. She finds Tossi, ball knocked out of bounds. Good defense right there by Aragon.
Saw Natividad take quite a tumble there. Away from the play, no call. They were close to a 5-second violation for sure. You see the Carlmont boys entering the gym. They'll be playing at 4:30. Short trip over for them.
And with the ball is Tololo down the lane. She's tied up. That's Manu again. where Lydia Manu is very active on both sides of the floor.
Runs in the family. I think the Dons would have preferred to not have that travel called because Manu would have had a uncontested fast break, would have had the lane all to herself to give her team the lead again, but such is life sometimes. Both teams rotating players in and out. You see Mappa checking back in for Aragon. Angie Olive also on the floor again.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock here in the first quarter. Aragon down 1 with the ball to get it to the corner, and Parangan, three-pointer misses everything. Weak side rebound pulled down by Aragon. Now they whip it around to the top of the key. Shot on the way, three-pointers off the back iron and no good. That was Angie Oliver.
A lot of bodies in there for the rebound. Palolo had it for a moment, and that was Solis' final play of the quarter to the streaking Gabby Natividad, who gets the basket as time expires in the first.
So we have reached the end of a one-quarter play here at Sequoia High School. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. First quarter, 12-9 at South City leading Aragon here. First quarter PAL tournament semifinals. We are live here from Sequoia High School, the PAL tournament semifinals. Game 1 of a busy day here. Game 3 will also be on the girls' side. That'll be Sequoia and Terra Nova. They will hook it up. And then game 2 actually is on the boys' side. And that will be Jefferson and Carlmont. And then the final game of the night, around 7:30 tonight, will be MA and Terra Nova. MA defending champions. We've got on the check that, I apologize. MA did not win it last year. It was Sequoia knocking off Jefferson. In fact, Sequoia, the two-time defending champion, they will not be playing this year. 3 out of the last 4 championships won by the Sequoia Cherokees. In fact, that won 4 years ago. The first postseason tournament win championship in the history of Sequoia basketball, and that goes back to 1919. So as we open up the first moments here in the second quarter.
Gabby Natividad leading all scorers with 7 points already. Manu with 5 for Aragon. Actually make that 9 for Natividad. She had the basket to close the first quarter.
The 12-9 lead for South City. Warriors with the ball, looking at the Warriors on the floor. It's Madrid, Tassi, Salisa, Natividad, and Malapi.
It was a nice job by Solis to save that, throw it off of Manu before it went out of bounds. Kind of a street ball play. As you notice, checking back in there is Beth Parangan for Aragon. You always see these high school games, players have to be reminded, you got to come to the middle of the table to check in. Any of you young players watching at home, please remember, out of convenience to the scorekeepers and all parties involved, when it's time to check in for a substitution, come to the middle of the table.
It's 12-9 lead right now. With the ball on the right-hand side now is Tolola. She goes back to the top. I think you checked, that was Mappa. Now down low, Manu. Outside the arc, and a shot on the way and good is Megan Grant. Checked in just at the end of the first quarter, seeing her first action of the day. And with the ball outside the arc, 3 on the way is short. And once again, boy, Manu lights up the stat sheet. Feel like every time I look up, she's got the ball in her hands. It's Parangan will bring the ball into the front court. That's Jaylene Parangan.
Manu 3 rebounds already by my rudimentary count. A couple of steals as well.
Now, bounce pass down low. Lady Manu, a little push off perhaps. It's blocked up top by Tassi. Out of bounds to Aragon. 12-9 is the lead here. Opening moment, second quarter. Aragon second place in the PAL South this year. On the inbounds, it finds Tolola. I checked, that's Mappa, and she ends up knocked out of bounds off of Aragon. That's an attacking defense right there by South City, and that earns them the possession.
I think that's really where you see South City's mix of size and speed come into play, because you've got Madrid at just 5 feet, and then you see what they can do in the post with the 6-foot Becca Tassi. They really do come in all shapes and sizes, and they make it work. They play as a very cohesive team.
Front court action coming in is Salisa being harassed there. Right down the right-hand side. She's off the side. Thought she was going to go with the dish. Instead, she goes back inside and gets the bucket. And quickly back on defense is Salisa. She's got 11. Spin dribble inside by Manu. Knocked out of her hands by Giselle Madrid. And Madrid will slow things down, lose her dribble. And she's going to be called for double dribble. Coach Carrion doesn't like the call. And, you know, was it knocked out of her hand right there? I think that's he may have a case for that one right there. And they're going to say that Aragon's, yeah, it's not going to matter. That was a close call right there, though.
I think they messed up that call. She had also nearly committed a backcourt violation, though. Her right foot had gone into the front court. She had come back with it before her whole body got over.
So slowly is Prongan into the front court to her sister. On the right-hand side, she's got Courtney Townsend outside the arc. Goes for the baseline, cut off by Tassi. And Jeline to Beaumont, and oh, the shot blocked up top. That's two of the biggest girls on the floor right there. As that shot blocked up top by the MVP of the North, Tassi.
Already her third block, and that one was a forceful one. And because you've got Malapaya able to cover the middle, gives Tassi the ability to come outside of the paint and deny shots like that.
3 on the way late in the shot clock, no good by Prong. An offensive rebound by Townsend is up and over everything. Weak side board will be corralled in by South San Francisco. Into the front court is Madrid. And her pass is knocked away by Perong, and diving on the floor. We got both Perong and Madrid on the floor. Jump ball, great effort here at Sequoia. You know, and it's tough because this is a 3 o'clock start. These girls have not had a 3 o'clock start this entire year. 5 is as early as they will tip it up.
And you might get some earlier games in tournaments, but usually in the December tournaments, those are usually reserved for teams in the consolation bracket where these teams hardly play. So they haven't experienced playing such early games since playing JV, and a lot of these South City players never played JV. They've been on varsity since freshman year, and they've got a freshman on the roster who hasn't seen time yet in Malia Smith. Celeste did see time as a freshman, and she gets the and one.
That was Tassi with the steal on the other end. And then Celeste, you know, I think Aragon is going to have to realize that she does not dish the ball on that side. That's the third time we've seen her fake the pass and then go right the ball up. And she's got back-to-back buckets. And the largest lead of the afternoon for South City. It's a 16-9 game, 5-minute mark. Just over 5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Celeste at the line again after splitting a pair of free throws late in the first. She hits this one, 17-9.
Oh, into the front court, Prongan. D'd up. It's like man-to-man pressure by South San Francisco here in the second quarter. Prongan right side cut off. Now to the top of the key. And finally ends up in the hands of Tololo. Inside, no good off the backboard. That was Angie Oliver, apologize. And a foul on the rebound. Boy, that was tough right there. It was like, Tuatelli looks like she had it. And instead, she's going to get called for the fouls taken right out of her hands. And then Prongan ends up with the foul.
6 fouls now.
And we got 6 Aragon Dons on the floor. And South City ended up with a wide open layup and then ended up throwing it away.
A lot of confusion there. So 16 fouls against Aragon. Next one will put South City in the bonus. Unise Hokafonu, that's quite a mouthful. She's got her first appearance now for the Dons.
So Hokafonu along with Oliver, Parangan, Manu, and Beaumont on the floor for Aragon. And Beaumont with the ball between the circles, right side to Jaleen Parangan. D'd up nicely by Malapai, and then down the lane with the left. No good with the shot, ends up an air ball. Natividad with the rebound now quickly into the front court. is Salisa, and traveling is going to be called. They're calling it tight here. And 17-9, the lead is 8 for South City, near midpoint. And Coach Manu wants a timeout as the Aragon Dons were able to put together a 5-0 run mid to late in the first quarter, taking a 4-point deficit into a 1-point lead at 9-8. Since that point, it's been an 8-0 run by the Aragon Dons. It's been a lot of Alex Salisa.
A lot of Alex Solis, a lot of Gabby Natividad, as Aragon has not scored this quarter. Now, with all the air balls you've seen, some coaches would be very quick to send a player over to sub in, but Manu, a very patient man. He will raise his voice, but that's all to encourage his team. He is one of the most patient, positive, and friendly, welcoming coaches I've seen around here, and this is a league full of great coaches.
Yeah,
two of them right now between him and Paul Carrion.
And right there, we're seeing the penetration of Alex Salisa. I mean, she's been at least 3 times she has been able to split the defenders on that right side, go down and get the bucket. Along with, as you said, Natividad, they've been dominating offensively for this South City team. Coach Manu's seen a little bit left. It's an 8-0 run. Let's catch our breath. Let's come back out. And for Aragon, coming back on the floor is going to be Grant, as well as Lila Maeva, Parangan, Manu, Jolene, and Beaumont will be on the floor for this Aragon team. Check that Oliver is on with Beaumont, Manu, Parangan, and Grant. Foul on the man-to-man defense right there.
Going to be the first on Natividad, so foul 6-3, just the third against the Warriors. You mentioned Megan Grant back on the floor. Interesting story about her. She played baseball, not just softball growing up, and she played on the South City Fog. I remember working in the Burlingame tournament, seeing her hit one over the fence there. Quite the all-around athlete. Quite a softball player as well, and I believe she also plays volleyball.
And Tassi knocking that one down, running the floor, and she ends up getting rewarded on the other end, getting the bucket. And it's now a 10-0 run and a 10-point lead.
And 3 assists for Alex Solis.
Long rebound is going to be thrown all the way out. Natividad has it in transition, blocked up top by Manu, and she just picked it up, picked it out right out of her hands. Unfortunately for the Aragon Dons, she stepped out of bounds, and it'll be South City's ball.
Acrobatic play, though. She made up a lot of ground, almost like a defensive back recovering after getting burned with how much space she covered in such a short time. This is a full-length 94-foot floor. You see courts ranging in size at the high school level. This one is full length, as you can tell by where the volleyball lines intersect the key, just inside the free throw line.
Shot in the lane is no good by Malapi, but she's fouled on the play. She'll go to the foul line, picking up the foul right there. It's going to be Grant and that is going to be her first. It'll be the 7th team foul. Either way, it'll be 2 free throws for Malapi. First free throw is good. It's her first points of the game. And just the 4th Warrior to score in today's game. But it has been a drought offensively for this Aragon Don squad. As now 20-9, the run has moved to 12-0. Now South City turnover in the backcourt. They'll have the ball again.
Beaumont grabs the rebound but steps out of bounds, pressured into the corner. Those Warriors can really cover every square inch of the floor, and they do it playing a very physical style. You're going to come away with bumps and bruises against them.
High-low entry to Tassi. Her bucket is good. She's got a couple here in the quarter.
Another assist for Solis.
Really down the floor. And a foul, they're going to say before the shot. Tassi picks up her first, the MVP this year of the PAL South. In fact, 5 MVPs in 7 years for Coach Carrion. Quickly the other way.
Another block, that's her 4th. Guess that one went out off of Natividad's leg, so Aragon catching a break there, but it's been more than 5 minutes in the second quarter. The Dons still have not scored.
There's a now 15-0 run as Manu is on a dribble into the front court. And she'll be picked up by Salisa. man-to-man pressure throughout this first half for South City. And 3 on the way is no good as Mappa.
I've got the Dons 0 for 10 shooting this quarter, although to be fair, 3 of those shots never came to the rim because they were blocked by Tossi.
Down the side, his same exact shot, this time no good, but the same allowment of her to go right down that right side and get off a good shot. Grant in transition, left side, driving in Parangan around Tossi, this time no good. Offensive rebound by Mappa, her putback off the mark. Now quickly, Salisa in transition down the right side. This time bounce past Tossi. Bucket good, 6 for Tossi in the quarter. 24-9 is the lead. Aragon is going to take another timeout. We're going to stay right here at Sequoia High School as this time, finally, I've been waiting for the dish, and that time Annalise was there for the pass off to Tossi for the easy bucket. She has become very difficult for this Aragon Dawn team to stop, Alex Salisa.
And that play, though, that all started with the rebound and outlet pass by Tololo, who's given some really good minutes off the bench. The Warriors have only brought in 2 players off the bench, but they've gotten good minutes out of both her and Burgesson. And that's one of the reasons they've got this 15-point lead, as you see Paul Carrion chatting it up with his team during this timeout.
2 minutes remaining here in the first half of action. The winner of this game will play the winner of tonight's game between Sequoia and Terra Nova.
Lots of scheduled for 6 p.m. between Sequoia and Terra Nova. Championship 6 p.m. tomorrow on the girls' side. Boys championship 7:45, and of course you have the all-league presentations in between.
You will want to get here early tomorrow night. Tomorrow night this place is going to be packed. And the celebration they have at halftime with the all-league players is really something to see. Really nice presentation. The players deserve it. They have great years, and they get their moment in front of all their peers and in front of all the fans. It's a great tradition that they have here at the PAL tournament.
Always a lot of fun, and it's one of the rare occasions where you get the entire PAL under one roof. You usually have so many games spread out. You have a lot of important networking that goes on, and you'll also have coaches turning in their playoff resume sheets. The Boys League rep, Herb Yapton-Shea of Westmore, he'll be making the rounds, of course, with the CCS seeding meeting Wednesday morning, bright and early. Seedings will be announced midday Wednesday, and then playoff action begins Friday.
Parangan with the ball, and Manu gets a shot off. No good, but Grant the rebound. She's joined by Mappa and Beaumont on the floor. Manu drives inside, no good with the shot, but it's off the glass, and she's getting fouled on the play, so she'll go to the line to shoot free throws. Looking at South City, you got Salisa Natividad on the floor, along with Tassie, who just picked up her second foul.
You've got to try to get her in foul trouble. She's such a force inside.
Now checking on the floor, Tassie will step off. Tololo is on the floor. Now it'll be Charisma Bergeson will check in for South City. Minute and a half remaining here in the first half of action. 24-10, that's the first 2 points here. They come at the 134 mark, but the lead is 13 now. And South City will just hold on to it right there. They do not have to get it across in the first 10 seconds. And the shot clock now at 15 is finally getting into the front court. Down the right side, dish down low, and it's knocked, swatted out of bounds, I should say.
That's Manu on the block. She's got 2 blocks now. Try to keep up with what Tossi's done defensively. There's been some really sharp defense on display today.
And the ball in, just over a minute remaining here in the first half. Ball right side. That's Malapi, knocked out of bounds. They're going to say, well, Lydia Manu said it well. It was Aragon ball, but not actually the case. Minute remaining. Little surprised to see Tossi come back in with just a minute 8 remaining with a couple fouls.
Quick hands by Jaylene Parangan on that last play, nearly forcing the turnover. Just 5 on the shot clock.
Cross-court pass. Natividad lets it go at the shot clock buzzer. Does not hit rim, so that ball's going to, that'll give the ball back to Aragon. Aragon breaking a 16-0 run moments ago. Now Tossi will step back out, and she will not play defense. They're going to keep her out of the key defensively to keep her away from that foul. that third foul here in the first half.
Interesting to see that sort of possession-to-possession micromanagement in the first half. Usually reserved for the end of games, but with a player as talented as her, never a bad idea. Steal by Malapei as Manu lost the dribble. Warriors advance it. It's Solis trying to blow by the defender.
And traveling is going to be called. Coach Carrion wanted a foul instead. They're going to give the ball back to Aragon. 9-second differential, 39 seconds remaining here in the first half of action, 24-11. This Warrior team, a 16-0 run, bridging the first and second quarters, have opened one up here. They're undefeated in league. Now Manu into the front court, Parangan between the circles. Right side, Grant, man-to-man pressure. Now Manu nearly loses it. Gets around Malapei, tough shot off the glass, no good. Mappa comes in for the rebound. She's tied up. That's great hustle right there by Gabby Natividad. She really created that tie-up. Once again, Tossi will come back onto the floor for the offensive possession for Aragon, and Bergeson will step off.
I was a little surprised how quickly they called that tie-up. I didn't see if anyone ever really had possession of the ball. It was more just...
Shot clock off here, 10 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And Manu gets the ball stripped. There's 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Long three-pointer is just off the rim here for Aragon. And a 16-0 run turned a 1-point deficit at 9-8 into a big lead for this South San Francisco squad. Last bucket of the half went the way of the Aragon Dons. It's a 24-11 lead for South San Francisco. As we hit halftime, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with some halftime scores, and we'll take a look at some of the other upcoming games coming up tonight in the PAL tournament. You are listening to the South City Video Art on the YouTube channel. Coming up, second half of action, Game 1 PAL tournament semifinals.
Back on the air. Thanks again to South City Video Art for helping us out here at the 2019 PAL tournament at Sequoia High School. Quick little first half recap for you. Aragon trailing 24-11. South City held the Dons scoreless for the first 6 minutes, 26 seconds of the second quarter. Lead scorer for Aragon, the only one with more than 2 points, Lydia Manu. She has 7, including 3 of 4 at the free throw line. Gabby Natividad for South City leading all scorers with 9. Those all came in the first quarter. Alex Solis with 6 as well as 5 assists. And Becca Tassi with 6 points, all coming in the second quarter. 5 rebounds and 4 blocks for South San Francisco. As my partner John Mylod mentioned, Tassi, the PAL North girls MVP this year.
Yeah, and I talked to Coach Carey on a little bit before the game. She does it all for the team, but he also mentioned she is the 5th MVP in 7 years that has come from South San Francisco. Obviously, Brittany Cedeno, 3-time first MVP, and now, of course, because I'm saying it, the name has escaped me for a moment, but there was a 5th a few years back, about 7 years back for the South City team as well. South City, the defending PAL tournament champions in Game 1 here, leading by 13 at halftime. The winner of this game will play the winner of Sequoia and Terra Nova in tomorrow night's championship game on the girls' side. That'll be a 6 o'clock tip there. On the boys' side, coming up next, we've got action between the Jefferson and Carlmont.
Still getting used to calling Jefferson the Grizzlies, even after a couple of years.
It did catch me right there. Mike, MA and Terra Nova will play in the boys' nightcap. And now here for the second half tip, we'll turn things over to Ethan Castle here, live from Sequoia High School.
It'll be Aragon ball as the Dons look to finally get back into the swing of things offensively after being shut out from the field for the whole second quarter, getting just 2 free throws. Starters on the floor. Angie Olive works inside to Manu. Nice swing to Mappa as she gets the first points of the quarter. Mappa from Manu, good ball movement. Quick cuts to make up for South City's defensive pressure, and Aragon starting to press right away, but Solis gets through it. Natividad into the lane. Natividad met with contact after a shot. No good, but it gets tipped back to her from Malapei. Second chance, no good. Tazi put back, no good. And then a foul called.
That's just great height advantage inside and really blocking out their opponent right there, getting 2 and 3 shots. And when you do that with South City, it's not going to work for you. You're going to give up a lot of points.
They're just so big inside and so physical. Quick sub as Mappa, having picked up 2 fouls, replaced by Townsend. Townsend also can throw her body around a bit inside, try to counter South City's physicality. Tassi got it inside, kicks it out to Solis at the top of the arc. Solis over by the free throw line, hands it off. Natividad now rotates over to that same spot. Solis trapped along the elbow, and a 5-second call. That's the sort of defense Coach Sam Manu was looking for from his Dons, and they get it to get the stop here early in the third quarter.
And they get the first bucket of the second half, and they get a stop on defense. That's the start they're looking for.
Got to take it one possession at a time. You know, you got to make up a double-digit deficit, but desperation is not the key. The key is to just be methodical, good possession here and there. Manu missed a 3 that time that was rebounded by Tassi. Solis back the other way into the front court. Fouled on her way through, and the foul was called as she was going up for the shot. That's going to be Jaylene Parangan's 3rd.
You know, I'm surprised Coach Manu hasn't perhaps gone with some kind of different defense on the top of the key and just shoved Solis a different way. She goes to her right, down the right-hand side of the key. Each time it seems like she gets the ball on the top. They have to stop that. Maybe put someone on her drastic right, but stop that kind of penetration, because that's been a key to South City building this 11-point lead.
She's been able to drive to the hoop a few times. She did it successfully a couple times in the second quarter, one of which was a 3-point play. Makes the second of her 2 free throws after missing the first, 25-13. Stretch pass from Manu intended for Townsend, but too long, goes out of bounds, and South City will get it back. That's the sort of turnover you don't mind. It's a dead ball turnover. It's an aggressive turnover. And this is another Aragon timeout. The Dons have just 1 left with 6:50 left in the third, and that might hamper their clock management moving forward.
You know, Ethan, it's a tough call when you get in a position where, especially a game like this, it's a tournament action. You know, if you lose, you go home. The other team gets on a roll. Maybe you call that early timeout, and all of a sudden, then from that point on, they go on a 10-0 run from there. You got to call another timeout in order to kind of settle the troops early moments here, it seems like Coach Manu, he got the first couple possessions he wanted, but from that point on, he saw something he didn't like. Conversely, Coach Carrion right now telling his girls, do exactly what we're doing. Continuously attack defensively and attack the hoop offensively, because Aragon has been a step late, especially when it's come to Solis.
Again, that same move to the right side. They've got to do something to force her off of that, as you said, whether that's double her, provide some more help defense, or push her to the left, whatever it is. If they keep letting her go that way, she is going to light up the score sheet throughout this second half. South City already up by 12. If Aragon could just get this down to, even just to 8 by the end of the quarter, they'll be right where they need to be to have a shot at this thing.
Aragon with a 8-0 and 8 win streak that put them in this second place for this PL South and in this game.
One of the more competitive PAL South races we've seen in a while. It's weird not seeing Menlo Atherton in this tournament. Solis doubled, turned over. It was Parangan with Manu on the steal. It was Parangan, and it's Manu laying it in. Cut the lead to 10, 25-15. Back at the other end, they work it inside to Tololo. She kicks to Natividad, who tries to drive and kick as well, but gets called for a travel. And there have been some quick whistles on the travels today.
And I appreciate that very much, as it looks like Coach Carrion wants a timeout. Once again, we'll stay right here at Sequoia High School for today's first semifinal here in the PAL tournament. I like a game that's called tight when it comes to traveling. The Euro step, that shouldn't be in any referee's vocabulary. There's no such thing as a Euro step. You get a step and a half, period. That's the deal. And when they take the pro game, which now you can take 2 steps, and they bring it down to the high school game and allow them to do that, when you can't even do it in college, I think it's a detriment to the game. I want to see the game called closely, especially with traveling. Other things, fouls, some games are more physical than others, but if foul's objective, or subjective rather, traveling is it is or it isn't, and they need to call it, so I can appreciate that.
I appreciate it as well. You don't want to have that trickle-down effect. Like you said, they're allowed 2 steps in the NBA, or 5 if your name's James Harden. Not seeing that here today. And we've got a 3-man officiating crew, which is quite nice. They can really cover the whole length of the court. And on a full-length floor, that is really vital. Having just 2 refs really makes it tough, especially with teams that like to run like both of these do.
Well, it's been a good start to this second half for Aragon. They're 4-1. They've outscored South City, so a 13-point lead now is 10, as we are about 6:20 remaining here in this third quarter of action.
Dons to inbound underneath their own basket. Olive to Manu, who will take it up the court. Manu definitely earning her rights as one of the top players in the PAL South. Long shot by Parangan, no good, but rebounded on the offensive end by Beaumont, but then thrown away. Some miscommunication.
Boy, that was really a great job of putting herself in the right spot by Beaumont right there on the weak side rebound.
Pressuring off the inbound, Solis trying to bring it up. Dribbling with the left. She's been going to her right when she scores, but she was able to dribble the left there. Pass ahead to Natividad. They get it across the timeline. Now Malapei over by the elbow. Down low to a wide open Becca Tassi. You've got to be pretty creative to get her open with how talented she is, how much defenses are watching her. Back the other way, Manu kicks. 3 on the way from Olive, no good. And once again, Tassi on the glass. She's got 4 rebounds this quarter, but it's taken back by the Dons, who put on full court pressure, 94 feet. Jaylene Parangan had it. She gets it back from Manu now. Kicks to the corner with Angie Olive. Olive inside. Left-handed layup, no good for Manu. She gets her own rebound, kicks it back out to Olive. Dons have yet to hit a 3-pointer in this game, but that hasn't stopped him from trying them. Cutting to the hoop is Parangan, who gets a face full of Becca Tassi. That's going to be Tassi's 5th block as it goes out off of her. It'll stay with Aragon. 5:16 left in the third quarter. Sequoia leading here at Sequoia. South City leading Aragon 27-15. Manu inbounding and getting it right back from Parangan. Shot no good. Rebound Tassi. She's been everywhere on the boards.
I think Tassi was very fortunate a moment ago not to pick up a foul on that block shot. As we saw the replay a moment ago, she definitely looked like she got some of the body.
And it would have been her 3rd foul at that. Bringing it back the other way. Here's Solis down low. Malapei gets open. And once again, the Warriors getting an uncontested look at the hoop. Last time it was Tassi, this time Malapei. Don's trying to repeat some of that as Parangan gets the stretch pass from Manu, but can't finish. Rebound Solis.
That's great vision on that last play by Solis.
One of the things that made her so valuable as a freshman on last year's league and section championship team. Manu knocks it away, and it goes out off of Solis, so the Dons force another turnover, but they've got to start turning some of this into points. A couple of subs here for the Warriors as they bring back Madrid and Bergeson. That'll take out Natividad and Malapei. Aragon right now on the floor, going with the 5 starters as they did earlier, with one change, 4 starters out there, plus Beth Parangan to join her sister Jaylee. Mappa, the only one of the starters who's not out there. They're also going to get Hokafonu back up to check in. Pass goes off of Tassi. They could have called a kick, but they're not going to reset the shot clock. As Olive tried the pass. Now they do call it. They will reset. Hokafonu coming back in, replacing Beth Parangan. Hokafonu got a couple minutes in the second quarter. In the midst of that scoring drought, trying to snap things for the Dons. Manu on the wing, Solis staring her down. Manu trying to get around her, ends up realizing she has no lane there. Good decision to kick it out to Angie Olive. Olive defended by Tassi, who comes out high. 3-pointer on the way from Manu, no good. Rebound, offensive rebound by Olive, that's no good. That'll go out of bounds on the putback attempt, and that will go to the Warriors. 4 minutes exactly left in the third. South City 29, Aragon 15. Press break as Tololo gets it back to Solis. Solis now gives to Tololo as the Warriors enter the lane. Trapped by Manu, free to Tassi. Madrid ends up with it down low. Defended heavily by Beaumont. Madrid trying to take it out into the corner. They double her there. Kick out to Tololo. She's going to try the 3. No good in front of the rim. Tassi, what do you know? Another offensive rebound and the bucket. South City by 16. Becca Tassi doing it all inside. The other way for Aragon. Parangan drives and scores to stop the bleeding for the moment. This time Aragon calling off the press a bit. They're going to wait for Solis to get it to half court where Hokafonu awaits. Solis looking to call it out as she's got both Madrid and Tololo waiting for her. 5 seconds on the shot clock already. That ran off fast. Madrid 3-pointer no good. Rebound Bergeson no good. Tipped out. Looked like it was about to go out of bounds, but a great save by Jordan Beaumont. She's shown really good awareness of her place on the court. She gives to Manu. Manu 3-pointer on the way. That's good. First 3-pointer of the game for either team. And it cuts the South City lead to 31-20. 5 straight points here for the Aragon Dons. Alex Solis brings it back into the front court for South City. Solis trying to drive baseline. Down low, Bergeson off the glass. Another assist for Solis.
Really opened it up here in this second half, going back and forth, scoring both squads.
Quick foul call. That'll send Beaumont to the line, and it looks like the foul is going to be Becca Tassi's 3rd. Not that you ever want to pick up 3 fouls, but to do so with 2:22 left in the third, not the worst time for it. It sends Beaumont to the line. Natividad and Malapei set to check back in for South City, while the Dons are going to bring back Mappa and Grant.
I think the key is knowing your athlete. Is your athlete an over-aggressive player who tends to pick up fouls, or, you know, there's a lot of great players that just know not how to foul, and then sometimes they get in foul trouble. So it all kind of feels, I think, what the coach feels for the athlete on when you let them in. Real aggressive players, you got to take them out.
Tassi has shown the ability to control herself. She does come out here. First free throw by Beaumont was good. Second was no good, but Manu gets the offensive rebound and scores, and all of a sudden, that 16-point lead is back down to 10, 33-23. Malapei handling it against the pressure now with Solis sitting for the moment. Malapei gets through the trap. Up ahead in transition, Gabby Natividad, her first point since the first quarter, 35-23. Beaumont leading the rush back the other way for Aragon. We're finally getting to see some of that fast-paced action that Manu wants to see from his Dons. There's a travel called as Parangan went into traffic. It was met with defense from both Madrid and Natividad. That'll give South City possession with 1:47 left in the third.
Now, you love the aggressiveness right there, but once she got Parangan got down low, she had nowhere to go and ends up picking up the travel.
Got to be able to stay calm under chaos. Turned over against the press. Manu picks it up just before half court.
loses it, goes on the ground, recovers without committing a travel, and gets it to Beaumont, who fires up a 3 off the back iron. Madrid tracks it down in the corner for South City, and they manage to outlet from the trap. Now Malapei trying a stretch pass. Natividad able to corral it, and then she is fouled by Beaumont.
Aggressive play out here between both these teams throughout today's game. Everybody's been diving for balls. You're hearing a lot of the sneakers on the gym floor. I just love that sound. It means tough defense is what it means.
Tough defense, physical basketball, and the scoring and the offense have really started to open up here in the third, and I think that's for the better. Started to see really what this game was supposed to look like for Coach Manu. Turning it over on the inbound as Mappa knocked loose. Grant fighting for the jump ball against Tololo. Possession arrow will favor South City, so the Warriors keep it with 1:14 left in the third quarter.
Hey, Tassi just does so many things for this South City team.
Hence why even with 3 fouls, she sat for just a moment. Solis looking to inbound as she's back on the floor. They've got to get it in before the 5-second violation, and she just does. Malapei driving in. Back iron, rolls around, and good. Another bucket for Malapei. She's got 4 this quarter, and it's once again a 14-point South City advantage. Back the other way, Parangan into the lane, but misses. Rebound, scramble for the loose ball as Malapei was tangled up in there along with Parangan. And they're going to call the foul on Malapei. Coach Paul Carrion can't believe that's on Malapei.
Yeah, it's tough. He didn't see the same thing.
Off the inbound, Mappa had body position and gets the layup.
Boy, full court man-to-man pressure throughout this second half by Aragon.
Parangan getting in on that pressure. Once again, the Warriors working into Tassi on the pass from Malapei. She gets the bucket and the foul. Just too much Becca Tassi, and you see why she is the PAL North MVP.
Yeah, at the same time, that's just a great high-low entry pass right there by Lafu Malapei. She waits till the defender pops out on her, throws the pass right over the top as Manu checks back in for Grant.
Second foul on Beth Parangan. She has 2, Jaylene has 3 here in the final minute of the third quarter. Tassi's free throw rattles around, no good. Hokafonu on the boards for Aragon. Getting pressured right away by Tololo, who's really been active off the bench. Manu into the front court. Manu pulling up for another 3. Front iron, no good. Tololo, another rebound. Hardly a drop-off when she comes in off the bench for the Warriors, but it's Manu with the steal that time after South City got in the front court. Over to Parangan. Parangan scores, and it's 39-27.
Really just seems like Aragon will not go away, but South City just keeps extending the lead.
And it's easy to extend the lead when you have Becca Tassi, though she is going to get dinged for the travel here. You know, just 4.9 left in the third quarter. Aragon going to try to cover the full length of the court and get a shot off before the buzzer sounds. They get it into Parangan. Parangan with Manu into the front court. Manu spinning. Manu throwing up a prayer. That is wide right off the backboard. And the third quarter ends. Aragon's cut this lead to 10 a couple of times, but hasn't been able to get any closer. South City still on top, 39-27 through 3. The first of 4 games today at the 2019 PAL tournament.
And we're going to take a quick break here. We were listening to this, watching the South City video art here from the students of South San Francisco High School.
Back here for the fourth quarter, just moments away. South San Francisco leading Aragon 39-27. And when you've looked at the crowd shots, see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of local prep basketball fans, as well as personnel from Jefferson and Karl Mont's boys getting set for the next game. Replay real quick here, showing you the lone made three-pointer in this game, which Lydia Manu hit in the third quarter for Aragon to cut the lead
to 31-20.
You know, twice the lead's been 15, and actually one time it reached 17. Aragon has got back down to 10 3 times, but it seems like as soon as that happens, they get the ball inside to Becca Tossi, get a couple buckets, and extend that lead back out again. Aragon has been threatening, but not seriously threatening. They just can't seem to get to single digits where they really can make an impact.
It's so hard to string together a good offensive possession and a stop multiple times against this South City team, which makes it so tough to come from behind. And when you have that combination of Solis and Tossi, you can see why that's so tough for opponents and why they're on a 41-game win streak in PAL North play. In fact, their only losses to any PAL teams the last couple years were to Menlo Atherton in the PAL tournament. They finally got over the hump last year by beating the Bears in the championship in a great game. This year, Menlo Atherton finished tied for 4th and is not in the tournament. No chance for rematch, but these Aragon Dons finish 2nd. They've got Mappa handling the ball as the 4th quarter gets underway. Mappa throwing up a little hook shot. And it goes in to cut the lead to 10 once again. Now, can they get one of those stops once they've cut the lead to 10? They've started off by slowing Solis in the backcourt. She gets it through against the trap. Malapei over to Tololo. Shot is blocked by Mappa, goes out of bounds. Warriors will retain possession, but the Aragon bench, they can feel the momentum, certainly.
Great size advantage down low for that South City team. It's very difficult to get the ball inside.
Got to do it in transition. Got to get open off some misdirection. Inbound from Natividad to Malapei. She hands it off to Solis. Solis, little trickery to dribble around her man. Shot by Tossi, no good. Mappa once again on the glass. Mappa's having a very strong second half here. Into the lane, Hokafonu blocked by Tossi. Block number 6. She may be threatening for a triple-double soon as she also got the rebound on that. Malapei the other way on the right wing, looking around, pressured by Parangan, gets it off to Natividad. Natividad on the fake. Tololo kicks to the corner. Three-pointer on the way. Alex Solis, splash. That puts the lead back up to 13 once again. Can't get it within single digits with how resilient these Warriors are. Bend but don't break. Mappa trying to score the other way. She is fouled with 6:48 to go in our ballgame. Foul is going to be on Malapei. Only her second. The only one for South City with any foul trouble to really worry about is Tossi. Mappa to the line for 2 here for Aragon. Remember, the Dons finished 2nd in the PAL South to these host Sequoia Cherokees. Sequoia playing in the 6 o'clock game against Terra Nova.
In fact, the last Aragon loss was right here at Sequoia High School, coming during the regular season to the Cherokees. That was 8 games ago. That was a 44-38 win by Coach Peaky's Cherokee squad.
Manu checks back in, but both free throws by Mappa no good. Oh, look, what a surprise. Another rebound for Tossi. Just great in the post. It's not just her size. She uses her body well. She forces contact, isn't afraid to play a physical game. Manu jumps the pass and gets a turnover from Malapei and then draws the foul. And that'll be foul number 3 on Malapei as she has picked up 2 in the span of just 14 seconds.
You know, South San Francisco is a physical basketball team. They've got great size. They're physical. They're going to be tough to play for the rest of this tournament and into the CCS playoffs.
And they're going to and those trainers are going to have their work cut out for them because they're going to have a lot of bumps and bruises. Hope you've got the ice ready. Manu inside. No look pass. Parangan. Long jumper with her foot on the line. No good. Manu offensive rebound. One hand putback try. No good. Mappa tries a putback, but that misses everything. Fighting for it inside is Parangan, and it ends up going out off of South City. Aragon keeps possession, 6:14 to go, though the Dons still trail by 13.
Right, they're going to try to wear down this South City team. It started with the full court pressure, and on a possession like that, you see it.
Into the lane, Hokafonu with her first points of the day. Getting that depth scoring will be key to come back. So once again, the Dons have cut it to 11. Hokafonu stays up in the backcourt to pressure Solis, who gets it up to Malapei. Malapei, despite being more of a power forward, she can really dribble and move the ball. Malapei to Natividad to Tololo. Back out to Malapei, and now Solis, top of the arc, defended again by Hokafonu. Solis down low to the cutting. Gabby Natividad, and she scores some De La Salle Francolaco style back cuts to beat Aragon's pressure. Dons come back the other way. It's Hokafonu into the lane. No good. Malapei rebound. That one missed everything.
Solis will slow it down now and stay in the backcourt for a while. Remember, as you mentioned earlier, John, no 10-second violation in girls basketball. There is a backcourt violation recently instituted by the NFHS. Solis to Malapei. Malapei backs up her defender and hands back to Solis, who's being forced to drive to her left by Manu. Now she gets past Manu, puts up the little 7-footer and scores again. Alex Solis, hard to believe she's only a sophomore. She has been dominant today along with Tassi. Right back the other way, Aragon quick in transition. Manu a try, that's no good. And now South City with a chance to break this thing open. They have possession and a 15-point lead with just under 5 minutes left.
You know, this full court man-to-man pressure, they're trying to wear down this South City squad, but a patient, good team, no problem with this press.
Solis blows by the defender, Mappa, but can't finish that time as Mappa held her position. Didn't let Solis go to her right. She shot with the right hand. Manu pulls up for an uncontested 3 top of the arc. That's no good. Solis up to quickly get the rebound and outlet to Natividad. Natividad in transition, jump stop, and is fouled by Manu, who had established her position. The Aragon players and fans a bit surprised by that call.
Yeah, I think that was a tough break right there. Both girls are a little off balance, and maybe a little better acting job that time by South San Francisco. We have timeout on the floor. We're going to stay right here at Sequoia High School. Game 1 of 4 in the PAL tournament semifinals. 46-31, South City champions and defending champions of the North this year and defending PAL tournament champions on the girls' side. They are leading by 15 over Aragon. Coming up in just a little bit, we will turn things over to the boys' side where Jefferson will be taking on Carmont. Jefferson undefeated in the North this year. Or actually, no, they did have one loss, didn't they?
One loss to Terra Nova that came without Marquez Costagnano, their point guard, as he was out sick that night. Somehow he was only named to the second team for the All-League team. His teammate, J.J. Cruz, the PAL North MVP.
So last year, Jefferson, the runner-up in this PAL tournament on the boys' side. They will play in about 25 minutes. They'll tip it up versus Carmont. Carmont came in second under their second-year coach, Ron Osorio. The nightcap on the boys' side featuring who will play the winner of Jefferson and Carmont is MA and Terra Nova. We'll talk a little bit more about that game as we come up throughout the afternoon. And then on the girls' side, we've got one more game coming up. That's going to be Sequoia and Terra Nova. They'll tip that one up about 6 o'clock right here at Sequoia. Both championship games tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Girls, boys at 7:45. And you can catch all the action here live on the YouTube channel, South City Video Art. Ethan Castle and John Milot here bringing you today's action. We're expecting Anthony Remedios to join us a little bit later on tonight as we get back to live action.
And don't forget, between the two games tomorrow, the All-League presentation. South City with a chance to extend this lead beyond 15. Gabby Natividad to the line. Aragon was going to sub in Grant, but she can't come in until after the first free throw. That's just a procedural administrative matter. Natividad at the line here. She had 9 in the first quarter, no more in the second, but got back in the action in the third. Has 2 this quarter and a chance to earn a couple more at the line, though the first free throw is no good. She's got 11 on the day. Make that 13 rather. Going to be gunning for 14 with her second free throw try. Solis getting some coaching by Paul Carrion as Natividad gets set for the second free throw, and like the first, no good. Back iron, rebound Mappa. Mappa's really been impressive on the boards. Hanging in there against Bekatasi. Stretch pass for Beaumont, but she can't handle it. It goes out of bounds right in front of her bench, and once again, it's South City ball. They remain up by 15, 4:13 to go.
It's been a great job defensively by South City. Coming in this game, Aragon averaging 57 points a game. They've got 31 midway through this fourth quarter.
That's a combination of Bekatasi's size, Lafu Malapei's size, some solid fundamentals. Tololo trying a 3 and hitting it. The first 3 the Warriors, only the second 3 the Warriors have made. Tololo off the assist from Solis. 49-31, largest lead of the day for the Warriors, but right back at the other end, Parangan with another 3. Timeout Aragon. That is the last Aragon timeout, and that comes with 3:44 to go. So they're going to have to get into their endgame mode real quick here.
We are live from Sequoia High School PAL tournament semifinals. Boys and girls, 4 games tonight as we look at the Parangan knocking down that shot that broke a run for this Aragon town. That was a 7-0 run by South City, and at this point, Aragon cannot afford any runs, period, against South City. If you want to get back into this game, they're down 15, second half of the fourth quarter. It needs to be a perfect 4 minutes of basketball. The good part about it is this Aragon Dawn team, a tremendous regular season, but you look back at the start to this year, at one point, Aragon had lost 7 games in a row, and you think, that's incredible. How could that happen? But the teams this squad played this year, I mean, they won the Kings Academy tournament, knocking off Fremont and Lee and then Sacred Heart Prep. But then at Presentation, at St. Francis, Christian Brothers, Central from Fresno. I mean, just absolute powerhouses in the pregame, in the preliminary season, and it really set them up for the PAL tournament and the CCS playoffs.
And that competition is what makes teams better. It's not like you're going to figure out your weaknesses and what you need to improve by playing against teams you can beat by 30. They're going to turn on the full court pressure and get a jump ball here. That'll stay with South City. 3:41 to go. Dawn still have a foul to give. They have committed 5 fouls this half. And again, without timeouts, they've got to start thinking about that end game stuff. Look at trying to force turnovers and foul right away. Tassi handling the inbound here, getting pressure, but outlets, Natividad. Natividad to an open Malapei. Her shot no good. Grant on the rebound. Warriors can't score on that possession. Aragon back the other way, down 15. Manu into the lane, pulling up for the floater from just shy of the free throw line, no good. Mappa offensive rebound. Her follow no good, missed everything, but I believe it went out off of Becca Tassi. So with 3:21 to go, Aragon does still have possession, still trailing by 15. But they're going to need a couple turnovers or a couple missed free throws or something to be able to make up this gap. On the corner, Parangan. Parangan kicks out to Grant. Manu had inbounded, stood in the paint for a minute, now comes out, takes it along the baseline, runner no good, gets her own rebound, scores, and the foul.
Just consistent, nonstop effort from Lydia Manu, first-team all-leaguer for Aragon, junior, coach's daughter, and if it's assists, no matter what it is, here it's an offensive rebound, and she's got enough muscle to get that thing back up off the glass and good, and now she nails the extra free throw to bring Aragon within 12, and now a steal.
They get that turnover they were looking for. Manu handling it again. Defended by Solis, who's making up for the height differential, but Solis gets called for the foul. I believe that's only her second, though. It is the team's 6th anymore, and Aragon will be into the bonus.
And I think we're going to have another timeout here on the floor for South San Francisco.
4th timeout for the Warriors. They have just 1 left. 3:01 to go. Paul Carrion going to discuss how to attack this pressure, how to get back into their half-court game that's been so effective once the Warriors have gotten through Aragon's press. And on their last possession where they got it down, they had the open look, just that Malapei couldn't convert.
These two teams met in last year's semifinals. That the PAL tournament was played at Hillsdale. That was a 66-48 win for South San Francisco. And really,
believe that's the 2017 matchup. Last year, South City over Aragon, a 1-point win. They ended up winning down to the wire. It was actually at Half Moon Bay. I think some of our data must have gotten misprinted there. It was a great game. The Warriors winning both those games at the buzzer. Brittany Cedeno coming up with heroic plays down the stretch. Right here, though, they're going to have to take the lessons that Cedeno's leadership showed. She's now at Cal Baptist. Manu on the inbound. Parangan on the corner. Back to Manu. Inside Mappa. Shot no good. Calmly to rebound Becca Tassi. And they just need to stay calm at this point, the Warriors do. Solis is fouled. Foul number 6 with 2:50 to play in the game. And that's going to be on Mappa. That is going to be her 3rd. And now both teams, any further fouls will put them into the bonus.
And we may see that on purpose from the Aragon side. 12-point game. They're within fouling time to try to get back in it.
Especially considering they have no means to stop the clock. Clock doesn't stop after a made basket. They have no timeouts. Warriors now taking advantage of the lack of a 10-second violation as Solis is able to just handle it in the backcourt with Parangan watching her. Finally, 10 seconds on the shot clock as she manages to get it across the half-court line. Pressured by Manu into the corner to Lolo. Frees it up to Natividad from near the free throw line. That's no good, but they managed to burn the whole shot clock before Megan Grant grabs the rebound for the Dons. Manu, lightning quick back the other way. Left-hand layup, no good. Rebound, a scramble for it, and it is not only going to be rebounded by the Warriors, but a foul is going to be called against Aragon. That is number 4 on Mappa.
And the Dons running out of time here at Sequoia High School. However, their season will continue. On Wednesday, they will have the CCS seedings meeting. Aragon will be a Division III school, I believe, and they will find out where they will play next.
Every year, the Dons seem to be on the cusp between Division II and Division III. Last year, they were Division II. I think they're Division II again. They faced Valley Christian in the section championship game, ended up losing that one. Free throw by Tololo, no good. Rebound right away, Manu. Manu into the front court, and she's going to draw a foul on Solis, and that one burned off just 5 seconds. Time is precious here.
But Manu knows that, and she's going to go right at the hole. She's not going to waste any time. So she ends up with a one-on-one situation. I believe she was not in the act.
Yes, the foul was on the floor. It's 1-1. Mappa set to check in probably for Manu, and she makes the first. Scratch that, Mappa is not coming in for the shooter. She's just going to collect Grant. 1 shot remaining with a chance to cut it to 10.
Yeah, I don't see Manu coming off the floor. I think they need her in there right now.
Unless she's in serious foul trouble, there's no way she comes off. Second free throw in and out.
She scored about 6 straight.
Solis gets it free. Warriors have a 2-on-1. Tololo blocked by Mappa, but Tassi ends up with it. Tassi gets fouled.
You know, that may be the first time that Aragon was beaten down the floor. Aragon has been back on everything. They've been pressing, aggressive, and that's the first time I saw 2 Warriors behind the defense for the easy bucket.
They had a couple of those when Aragon was trying to sort of half-court trap them. Tassi has 2 shots and misses the first. The Warriors have now missed 4 straight free throw tries. One of the reasons they haven't completely put this game away yet. And we mentioned that section championship game that Aragon played in last year. We'll have to get into that when we have the chance. It was a crazy story behind that. Second free throw by Tassi is good. 50-38. Minute 50 to go. Manu into the front court. Full head of steam. Elbow jumper. Back iron, front iron, no good. Tassi another rebound, and she quickly gets it off to Solis. Manu calling out, trying to get more pressure into the backcourt where Solis is handling it. She's burned half the shot clock just by herself back there. Now she gets doubled, trying to kick it to a teammate. She's got Tassi down low, 2-on-1. Tassi, Tololo the bucket. South City by 14, and I think that may have been the final nail in the coffin.
This Warrior team drops now into a 2-3 zone.
Stay away from fouls, force some exterior looks, and if you can rebound out of that zone, it'll be effective as Aragon struggled to shoot. It got Tololo the rebound, and at this point, Aragon's either got a foul or just call it and start turning their attention to Wednesday's seeding meeting. This is all but done. Solis still being doubled in the backcourt. Tireless defense by the Dons, but Solis can handle it. Stretch pass for Tassi gets tipped out by Parangan. Warriors will sub Madrid back in. Madrid will collect Solis, who is probably done for the day with 50.7 to go, and they can turn their attention to tomorrow night. They will play the winner of the 6 o'clock game between Terra Nova and Sequoia, and sure enough, both teams beginning to empty the bench here in the final minutes. And as they do that, I can finally bring you the story of the game these Aragon girls played last year where they were defeated by Valley Christian in the CCS D2 Championship. That game started at Independence High in San Jose, a common postseason size. It's one of the largest gyms in the section. Shot no good, and getting fouled quickly was Camila Solari Chaman, getting her first action of the day in the final minute here for Aragon. The foul is on Burgesson. Now that game was scheduled for Independence. I was headed down there to cover the boys game, also played between Aragon and Valley Christian. And when I'm halfway there, I get a message, hold on, we've got a power outage at Independence. They ended up picking up everything, moving the game to nearby Piedmont Hills and finishing the second half there, as well as playing the other championship games scheduled originally for Independence. They ended up playing those over at Piedmont Hills, and the whole delay managed to only take an hour. Tremendous work and a lot of people coming together to get that thing done quickly. First free throw by Solari Chaman is good.
They're lucky Piedmont Hills wasn't taken. It usually is for the CCS playoffs. Every year I've broadcast from Piedmont Hills 10 times.
They had the luxury of using the Levy Center at Santa Clara as well, so Piedmont Hills was open that day. Levy Center only will host the Friday night game this year. Is the Saturday. They're only hosting the Open Division. The Saturday, Santa Clara will be hosting the San Francisco Dons, who have a former PAL star at point guard, Burlingame alum Frankie Ferrari. Last couple possessions here as the Warriors couldn't get anything on that one. 30 seconds to go, long pass into the lane, out to the wing where a travel is called before Galia Darabrahamian could get a shot off. 27.4 left, shot clock off. See if the Warriors want to run one last player, if they want to just dribble this thing out as they lead it 52-40. Looks like Aragon is still going to trap and try to practice some of that press with some of their reserves. Madrid kind of lost that uncontested. Comes to Parangan. Parangan, mid-range jumper is good to cut it to 10. Aragon, no means of stopping the clock, though. And now if the Warriors can just inbound, they'll run this thing out, leading by 10. They led by as much as 18. Once again, though, they turn it over. Natividad gets her pocket picked, and with 8.6 left, it is again Aragon ball. The Dons can get this within 10, and while it won't affect the outcome, good to finish strong, get the day off tomorrow. Next game will be sometime over the next week, as we'll see what their seed ends up being in CCS Division 2. Last possession coming here, a three-pointer on the way, and banked in by Natalie Hemut. That'll be the final bucket of the game, as the final score is going to be 52-45. South City defeats Aragon and advances to the PAL Championship. Once again, a strong late push from the Dons, but make no mistake, South City took care of business when they needed to.
Yeah, great job by South City winning this one. The final score of 7 points, not really indicative of the kind of game it was. It was this South City team going on a 16-0 run, bridging the first and second quarters, gave them a 13-point lead at halftime. From there, it was 12 after fourth quarters. It extended as many as 18 at a 49-31 lead for South City. From that point on, Aragon was able to cut into that lead, but really never really in doubt. As South City wins, they look to defend their championship. They'll play the winner of tonight's 6 o'clock game. That is going to be between Sequoia and Terra Nova. We are going to, maybe some final thoughts before we send it back to the YouTube world and start getting ready for the second game?
Yeah, I think you could describe this game as a tug of war in which South City had the early advantage. Aragon kept trying to bring that ribbon marking the middle of the rope back to the middle, but every time they came close, South City would come up with that big next pull, and then finally they would get the big shift to put this thing out of reach. That's where they opened up the lead as far as 18 points, and that's why they'll be playing in yet another PAL championship for the third straight year, looking to defend last year's title tomorrow night at 6.
That is true. They will play the winner of Sequoia and Terra Nova. That game is coming up at 6 o'clock. However, coming up here at 4:30-ish, they're going to turn it over to the boys' side. It'll be Carlmont taking on Jefferson, and then the final game of the night will be the second boys' game. That'll be the winner of MA and Terra Nova will play the winner of this second game. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back for Game 2 of the PAL Tournament semifinals here from Sequoia High School. You're listening to the South City Video Art on the YouTube channel.